so you'll pick female. And I want you to find a female name on my shirt and just think of it. Let's see if I can get us to work. I get all the, whoa! Hey guys, I'm Caleb Morelli, and this is Dress Code. Dress Code is an effect where you show the shirt that you're wearing front and back, and then instantly it changes. Now this is a very practical effect I've been using in my stand-up and close-up shows for over 3 years now, so let's check it out. I want you to think of, just think of the name of a soda, okay, right now. You got one?
Pepsi.
Pepsi, okay, so we got Pepsi, that's the first one. Name one more.
Another one?
Yeah, another pop.
Sprite.
Sprite, name one more.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, so we got Pepsi, Sprite, Coca-Cola. All right, check this out. So out of Pepsi, Sprite, and Coca-Cola, name one. Pepsi, so we're gonna throw Pepsi out, okay? So we got Sprite and Coca-Cola, you eliminated that. So out of Sprite and Coca-Cola, so Sprite or Coca-Cola, name one.
Sprite.
Sprite, so we're gonna get rid of Sprite, okay? So we got rid of both of those. You guys both picked one to get rid of, and we're left with Coke, okay? So you guys named 3 random ones. We got to that one, right? So she named Coke out of all the pop, right? All the names of soda. Like if you think about it, there's so much soda out there.
Yeah.
Probably over 100 of them maybe. Check this out. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my shirt. You said Coke?
Oh my god!
Look at this. Look. You can check out
Nothing,
everything.
Like, oh my goodness!
That's nice. That's
You are talented. You're
Yes,
so
you
good
are.
at this.
Thank you. Sweet. You're able to like read all these names, right? Yeah? What I'm gonna have you do is I want you to think of a male or female. Just pick male or female.
Male?
Male? Okay, so you
Male. Okay,
female? Okay, so you pick female. Now this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you all the names and I want you to find a female name on my shirt and just think of it, okay? But don't think of her name. So just look at one of the names on my shirt that's female. You got it?
Yes.
Okay, don't say your name. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shake the shirt like this, and I'm gonna try and get something to happen. Think about your name, okay? You haven't told anyone? Let's see if I can get us to work. I get all the names fall down except for your name. Was it Susie Price?
Yes. What is this?
You see that? You can feel it. You feel that? You can feel it. It's on there.
What the hell?
All right, thanks for watching, you guys. You guys have an awesome day. All right, you guys, welcome to the explanation portion of this DVD. First off, when you see the gimmick, it may look kind of complicated to make, but in reality, it's only going to take you 5 to 10 minutes. And then once you have it made, you'll be able to use it for, I don't know, months on end, okay? Now, what you're going to need for this gimmick, you're going to be supplied with 3 materials in your DVD, okay? So you're going to get some elastic, okay, elastic band. It's also going to come with 2 magnets, okay, just like that. Also, it's going to come with 6 safety pins, just right there. So all this stuff is going to come with your DVD. You're also going to need a few things you can find around the house. The first thing is some scissors, all right? And you're also going to need some tape. Any kind of tape will do. You're also going to need 2 shirts, okay? The first shirt needs to be smaller than the second one. And this is going to be your gimmick shirt, okay? So you are going to destroy this. So make sure you find a shirt that you feel okay cutting. This shirt for me is a small, and the shirt that I'm going to use is either a medium or a large, okay? So that I'm going to change into it. It doesn't have to be that big of a difference, just a little bit bigger, all right? So those are the 2 shirts that I'm going to use. And these are all the materials that you're going to need to make the gimmick. So let's get into how to make the gimmick right now. All right, you guys, so before we get into the construction of the gimmick, I'm going to break down exactly how the change works. So I'm wearing the gimmick right now, and I'll walk you through it. the gimmick shirt goes underneath your real shirt, okay? But at the same time, it's over it, okay? It's a little bit confusing, but what's going on is this flap comes from underneath and over your real shirt. Your real shirt is right here, and the gimmick shirt is connected with magnets at the back of your neck. Now, this is what the change looks like when I have my jacket on and my back turned. All right, so it's very simple. Now I'm going to show you what the reset looks like. All you got to do is reverse the action. And the effect is reset. Now let's see it from the back so that I can talk you through exactly what's going on. So you've got your real shirt, it's cut up halfway. Your normal shirt is bunched up and it's going underneath the flap. All right, so the flap comes from underneath your shirt and goes over your normal shirt. So I'll go over the change once more so you can see it happen in slow motion. So now that you know how the gimmick works, let's get in on how to make the gimmick. Okay, so I'm going to briefly describe the gimmick in detail and then we'll make one together. So let's look at the gimmick. First off, the way that you're going to cut it is this. You're going to start at the armpit and you're going to go, there's going to be a seam that goes from the armpit all the way up to the top of the shoulder. You're going to cut right along that seam. Then the seam continues on the top of the shoulder, okay? So it's going to go from the top of your shoulder to your neck, okay, just like that. And this is the seam that you're going to cut along. Then you're going to keep on going on that seam, cutting around the collar, the back of the collar, and then across the other shoulder to the corner of that seam. Then you're going to do the same that you did on the other side, and you're going to cut down the seam to the armpit from the shoulder, okay? So that's the basic cut. Then you're gonna cut the collar in half, fit it to your neck, and put 2 magnets on it. Also, this elastic is gonna be connected at the armpits, and this is going to go behind your back. What this is gonna do, it's gonna allow the shirt to stay tight in this area so that it will stay up on your body. Also, these sleeves your arms will go into, and this will help it stay on your body as well. The last part that you're going to do is you're going to double over the back of the shirt, because once the back of the shirt is cut, it's going to droop. So you're going to have to double that over and safety pin these together to keep the back of the shirt tight. Now, additionally, I have put safety pins inside the armpit, because right where this creases over time, and once you've done maybe 15 to 20 changes, this will begin to stretch and rip. So what the safety pin does is that just goes there and keeps the shirt from ripping or stretching. So that is in detail exactly how the gimmick is made. So now I'm going to go over and we'll make the gimmick together. Okay, so the first part of making your gimmick is cutting the shirt. All right, so you're going to take your scissors and the shirt that you have set aside to make your gimmick, and I've made a dotted line along where you're going to cut. It's going to be one continuous cut, and I'm going to show you exactly where it is, okay? It's going to start at the base, okay, of either armpit. It's going to go up the seam of the sleeve, like so. Then it's going to go along the seam along the shoulder line. Okay, so you get to the corner, the top of the sleeve, the top of the shoulder, and it's going to go along this seam. Okay, it's going to follow the seam to the collar. It's going to go along the collar, okay, where the other shoulder line seam is. Goes to the corner, okay, right where the sleeve begins. And then it's going to go back down the other sleeve to the armpit, okay? So now that you know exactly where the cut is going to be, I'm going to do it very slowly. So you're going to want to face the shirt towards you. Okay. Now, if you need to, you can put the same lines that I've made on my shirt. It's up to you. So at the very bottom, okay, of the sleeve, there is going to be a seam. All right. I will highlight this for you just so it's really easy to see. This seam is at the very bottom of the shirt, right where it joins with the other seam that you're going to cut. You're just going to poke the scissors, okay, right into that corner. Just like so. Now be careful so you don't cut yourself. So you now have a small hole at the very bottom of the sleeve, okay? You're going to put your scissors in and cut along. Just like so, staying right next to the seam. And once you've got up to the shoulder, okay, so now you'll meet the other seam, like so. Look at this so you guys can see it. Now you've met the other seam, and you're going to go along the shoulder seam. And once you get to the collar, you're going to go along the back of the collar. Okay, just like so. And then you're going to meet the other shoulder seam on the opposite side. And you're going to cut along the side of that. Now you will have made it to the top of the opposite sleeve. Okay? So now I'm going to turn the shirt around so it makes it easy. So I just cut along the top of the shoulder seam. Now I'm going to cut down the sleeve, all right? There we go. So you cut down the edge of the seam of the sleeve directly to the base of the armpit, okay? And just like on the other one, I'm going to go ahead and grab this marker. There's going to be a seam that is at the bottom of the sleeve, okay, directly under your lower arm, and that's where you're going to stop at, okay? So right where those seams meet, you're going to stop there. Then you are going to take your collar, okay, and directly in the center of the back, okay? It doesn't have to be exactly center, you're just going to cut it in half. Now I cut my tag off, but if you keep your tag on there, then you can just cut in the center of the tag and you can get an exact cut. So you're just going to want to cut it in the center and then you'll fit the collar later. But so right now, what you have is you have cut just like so. Okay? So you've cut up the corner of the sleeve, across the back of the collar. Okay? So you have this cut out. Up the corner of the sleeve, up the shoulder, back of the collar, you cut your collar in half, up the top of the shoulder, and down the other sleeve to the exact bottom of the armpits, okay, where these seams at the bottom meet the seam that you're cutting down, okay? So that's exactly where you cut. So now we're going to get in on the other part of the gimmick, which is step 2, and that's going to be safety pinning the elastic to each of the armpits, okay? And you're going to want to fit that to your body in a certain way. So we'll get into that next. Okay, so this is the second step of making your gimmick. Once you have your gimmick cut, okay, so you've just cut your gimmick. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your elastic band, okay, just right like that, your safety pins, okay, and also your scissors, okay? So you're gonna take all of these things. I'm just gonna set this aside. First of all, you're gonna have to fit the elastic band to yourself. So like I said, this is gonna go from the edge of the armpit to the edge of the armpit of the shirt. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna measure, okay, from the edge of your armpit to the edge of your armpit. Then you're gonna hold it. So this is how far it is for me. Now, if I put this right on there, when I put it around my body, it would not be taut. It wouldn't be tight at all. It wouldn't be keeping the shirt in place. So what you're gonna have to do is take off about 2 inches. There's 1, 2, okay, about 2 inches. And then you're gonna cut it right here. So now when it's here, it'll stretch and it'll keep the shirt snug against my body. Now you're gonna wanna make sure, okay, that you might have to play around with this. If 2 inches it may be too much or too less for you, you're just gonna wanna play around so that it's taut and it's gonna be snug, but you don't want it extremely tight or extremely loose. You just want it about right in between so it's just there and you can feel it comfortably, okay? You wanna make sure that it's comfortably on your body, all right? So this is gonna feel good for me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it right here, okay? Set that aside. So now I have my piece of elastic. So I'm gonna fold my shirt up, and now I can clearly see the edge of this armpit where the corner that I cut to, and the edge of this armpit. So I'm gonna take a safety pin, okay? And actually, before we go ahead and safety pin this elastic strap to the edge of the armpit, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put one safety pin, okay, in each armpit, okay? So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna safety pin these 2 pieces of fabric together. And what this is gonna do is this is gonna make it so that once you've done more than 10 or 20 changes, that this seam will not rip or stretch, okay? So I'm just gonna safety pin this, like so. And I'll do the same on the other one. I'll bring it together. And go ahead and safety pin it together. Just like that, so you can see it. So I've safety pinned these 2 pieces of fabric together so that after a while after use of this gimmick, more than probably, I'm gonna say, you probably don't start to see it until at least 10 to 20 times, but then you'll see that this seam will start to tear and stretch. So now this will prevent that. Now you're gonna get back to your elastic, okay? So you fit the elastic to your body. You're gonna take another safety pin. You're gonna stick it inside your elastic, okay? This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna turn this inside corner, okay, out a little bit. And right underneath where you just safety pinned, there's gonna be a seam, okay? All you're gonna do is put the safety pin in the seam and out, and then put it back through the elastic. Just like so. Here, I'll get it through a little bit more. So it's back through the elastic, and then you'll shut the safety pin. So it's going through the elastic, through the seam, and back through the elastic. We'll do the same on this side. There's the seam right at the bottom of the corner. That's where it's coming down. Take another safety pin. Put it through the elastic. Just a second. There we go. It's going to go through the seam. Okay, and back through the elastic. Like so. Now, once you have it in from corner to corner, you're going to try it on and make sure that it's snug, okay? Like I said, you don't want it too tight, you don't want it too loose. You're just going to want to make sure that it stays up and that it's comfortable, okay? So now that you have your elastic on and you fitted it to yourself, you're ready to go to the next step, and that's fitting the magnets onto the back of the collar. Okay, so in the previous step, you fixed 4 safety pins onto the shirt and your band of elastic. So now the next step is doing the collar. What you're going to need for this is your 2 magnets that came with the DVD. You're going to set those on the edge of the collar. You're also going to need some scissors and some tape. So this is what you're going to start with. First off, you're going to want to make sure that this collar fits flush around your neck. So that may involve cutting off half an inch to an inch of each end, so that when the magnets are together, that the collar is flush around your neck and it does not droop at all. Because if it droops, then there's a possibility that when you have your real shirt underneath, that it will show, okay? So you do not want your real shirt, the real collar of your real shirt to show. So you want to make sure that this collar is tight enough around your neck that it's not going to droop down, okay? So for me, I know that I'm going to have to cut off about a half an inch to an inch of each neckline. So we'll go there. And there. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to